We're not going to do that tonight. You do that at your leisure. Now, it's imperative that we start right where people are and not where we wish they were. Y'all heard me? Mm-hmm. It's important that we start where they are and not where we wish they were. Because a lot of times, we get so saved and so holy than now that we don't want to reach down with somebody on their level, because you know what, they ain't never been to church, they don't know nothing about the Lord. They are, I mean, when you say baby, they be young baby in Christ. They don't know nothing about it. So that means it's going to take sacrifice to help get them where they need to be. And I got this going on, I got that going on, I got this there, and I got that down there, and I got the kids, I got the wife, I got the spouse, I got this, I got that. Bible study and church. I just don't have time to spend with this, that kind of time with this person. Be careful what you allow to come out of your mouth. God works in atmospheres. We have to be careful of what we put out in the atmosphere. Because all of the excuses that you're using not to be obedient to Christ could be taken away. Yeah, you got a job today, and you swamped, and you occupied, and you busy, but tomorrow could change it just like that. Just like that. My wife and I went out to dinner with the kids, and our waiter, I tell you, this guy, I've been out a lot, but this guy was the best. When I say the best waiter I ever had in all of my days of eating out, he was the absolute best. It's like this guy was in my head, and he knew what I was thinking, he knew what I wanted, he just knew. So much so that I said, brother, I need to talk to you, man. I said, who are you? That's what I asked him. I said, man, who are you? I said, what do you mean, sir? I said, man, the way you wait, I said, you just are amazing, man. You're just awesome. I said, what is it about you? You know what he told me? He said, last month, he said, I was a senior executive of a Toyota corporation. Senior executive. Big time. He said, I came to work one day and didn't have a job. No advance notice, no letter, no email, no nothing. Mr. John, you don't work anymore. See you, have a good day. He said I had to provide for my family. So I took a job. At that point, it didn't matter. It's a job. So he said, the way I wait tables is, I remember when I was sitting where you are. I knew what I wanted. So I wait like that. And when I came to get the job, the manager said, I can't hire you. You're overqualified. You'll just, you know, he figured that when he came, he'll make wait tables for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and he'll be like, I can't do this, this will make me. But the man was so good at what he did, and he had so much passion in what he did, the manager, after, I think he said 2 weeks or 3 weeks of working there, made him the lead trainer of all the waiters. What am I telling you? What am I telling you? God works in mysterious ways, but the passion that he had, doing what he was doing. How many of us have that same passion for doing what God has asked us to do? How many of us have that same passion? We get so busy, church. We get so busy with our lives and everything that's going on that people pass us by every day, needing to hear the gospel, needing to hear the good news. We don't have time. We don't have time. We got to realize and remember why we were allowed the opportunity for salvation. He didn't save us just for us. He didn't save us just so we can say, I got mine. I'm saved. I know I'm going to glory. That's good enough for me. Absolutely not. We ought to be kingdom builders. He said, greater work shall you do. Why? Because there's more of us. The gospel is in every area of the world right now. There's nowhere where the gospel is not being preached. Whether it be through satellite, through missionaries, people trade, whatever. It's everywhere. But you know what? We've got to be responsible for our little box. Even if that's just your workplace. Be effective in your box. Do what God has called you to do in your box. But no, we're so busy concerned about what Miss Susie doing and we're not doing. But look in the mirror. Every one of us have to walk in our own individual obedience unto God and what He's called us to do. Questions such as, do you believe in God? And are you a Christian? Can cause immediate defensiveness. Immediate. From the lost person. But asking the question, do you have any kind of spiritual belief, sets the stage for talking about Jesus. Asking these questions immediately forces the unbeliever against the wall. When you say, do you believe in God? Are you a Christian? You put them in a box. You put them in the corner. Now they feel like they got to fight their way out. Because they may not believe in God, but they may believe in Muhammad or somebody else. They may not believe in Christianity. They may believe in Allah or some other religious little God. So when you ask those questions, it automatically puts them on the defensive, and now you're in a theological debate instead of sharing the gospel. So now you defeat the whole purpose of what you came to do. And especially if their belief isn't in Jesus, you give them the very ammo that they need to be defensive, and that only hinders the ultimate goal, which is for us to share Jesus and to propel the gospel. But asking the question, do you have any spiritual belief? This question allows them to bring his or her disbelief into the conversation, which is okay. That's what we want. We want that. Remember, it doesn't matter if they reply for 10 seconds or 10 minutes. You should never respond or attempt to clarify anything they say. Simply focus on attentive listening, which is an act of love and care. All you need to say is, okay, and that's gonna be hard for some of y'all. It's gonna be hard. I'm gonna tell you right now, because you just gonna want to beat them up with the word. I know, because I do sometimes. You want to give it to them, but you can't. You can't. You know why? Because let's go to 1 Corinthians, chapter 13. Let's go to the love chapter. It has to be an act of love. It has to be. Because when you know it's about love, then that'll stop you from jump on it. Now there? 1 Corinthians 13. And we're going to start, let's start at verse number 4. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself and is not puffed up. Does not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not of her own. Is not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Beareth all things. Believeth all things. Hopeth all things. Endureth all things. Charity never faileth. But whether there be prophecy, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall be vanished. It shall vanish away. It's got to be done in love. Why? Because Jesus said, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. So that has to be our attitude when we're witnessing. We want to draw, but it has to be with loving kindness, because we don't want to push away. We want to draw. So we have to make sure when, I remember in the week 1 and 2, you got a question? Yes?
I was just going to make a comment.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about sharing the gospel. A lot of times, if we just say a silent prayer to ourselves, God will, when they talk to you, God will show you what it is that they need. And this love